Hey, what's going on? This is Greg Helbeck, and welcome to this week's Real Estate Weekly Lesson. And on this week, I'm going to teach you how do you identify a smokescreen in sales? What is a smokescreen? How do you identify it? So that's what you're going to learn in this video. But if you're new to my channel, if you're interested in learning how to be a real estate investor, this is the channel to watch. I've been buying and selling investments forever, not forever, for like 7 years, done well over 125 deals, made a bunch of money, made a bunch of mistakes. So hopefully you can watch this and you can learn from my mistakes, or you can learn a lesson that I've learned through this video. So if you do get value, if you can like my video and subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. So if you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, it would really mean a lot to me. So today we're going to talk about how do you identify a smokescreen when you're dealing with a seller, right? Because you got to understand, in this business, you're dealing with distressed sellers, right? And I hate to be a jerk, but I'm just going to be honest here. Distressed sellers aren't the smartest people in the world, right? They're selling their houses at a discount by choice, not by force. And you're dealing with people generally who are, and I don't want to sound like too much of an ass, but I kind of do. They don't have the most integrity. And I'm just going to say it. You might disagree with me here, but if you've been in this business long enough, you're probably going to agree with me. You're dealing with people who don't have a lot of integrity. And they generally will string you along, and they'll tell you something that you want to hear, but ultimately they won't be able to do what they say they're going to do. So they're going to give you a lot of the times these things called smoke screens, which is, oh yeah, I think I'll sell my property at that number, but I got a couple of things going on. Like, they're going to give you all this BS that might lead you to think they want to sell to you, but they're probably not going to sell to you, right? And you want to identify that as soon as possible so you can eliminate time with tire kickers and spend time with people you can truly help who are committed to doing business with you, right? So the first thing you want to do is, when you're dealing with a smoke screen, is you want to question the smoke screen. So when they tell you like something like, oh, I want to sell to you right now, but the timing isn't right, you want to basically take what they say and repeat it back into a question, right? So in that case, it would be, hey, when you say the timing isn't right, what do you mean by the timing isn't right? And what that does is it gets them to expand on what they're saying. And if they have a BS story, they're not going to be able to answer it directly. They're going to say, well, well, just I don't know where I'm going to go and blah, 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 blah. But their story is going to fall apart. It's almost like if you were an investigator and you're trying to investigate a criminal and they were a terrible liar, you would say something and they'd be like, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to be able to answer it straightforward, right? But if they're true and they're honest, like, I don't know where to go. And you say, when you say you don't know where to go, what do you mean? And they say, well, I just don't know I have no place on where I can move to here. So that's why I feel like I'm stuck at this house. And then once you're there, you isolate that objection and you see if that smoke screen is a real smoke screen that is that would make the deal unclosable, or you see if you can take that smoke screen or objection they're giving you and see if you can overcome it by asking another question. So in this case, it'd be, okay, so it sounds like the main issue you have is that you don't know where to go if you sold this house. So if you were able to find a place and lock that in, you'd probably do business. Is that correct? Yes, exactly. Or they'd say, no, I don't know. I don't want to do that. And in that case, they'd be full of crap. So when you isolate the objection or the smokescreen, and then you ask the seller if they solved that problem, would they take action? And they say they would, then you want to summarize again. Okay, so it sounds like you want to sell, you don't know where to go. If you found a place to go and you were comfortable with that, you would move forward with doing business with me so we can make sure you get this house sold so you don't get foreclosed. Is that correct? Yes, if you can do that, I'd be open to taking action. So now they're giving you a commitment and they're committing to take an action if you can solve the problem for them, which in this case would be that you want to help them find a place to go. So the main takeaway here is, I don't want to get too confusing, is you want to isolate the smokescreen, ask them a question about it to see if they're going to answer it in a good way, which is the truth, or a bad way, which is a lie. And when you can design a solution that gets them around that smoke screen, they can hopefully take action. So that's how you deal with smoke screens. I'm going to give you an example right now on a deal that we just did not get. Oh my gosh, we don't close every lead we get. Shocking. Anyway, so we just had a house in Texas. The seller wanted to sell. She accepted our offer. We sent her the contract, which we should not have done. Key here is, if you're locking deals up virtually, you want to have them sign the contract on the spot with you instead of sending them the contract for them to sign on their own, because they're going to ghost you. We made that mistake, learned our lesson, obviously. And when we sent the contract, she viewed it because I saw it, but she never signed it. So the smokescreen, the objection, was that she had another offer from OfferPad or Open Door, one of those big companies. And she felt like if she took our offer, she'd be leaving money on the table, which ultimately was the truth. She was selling for less to us for convenience and certainty. With the other company, she would have, in theory, got more money, and she might get more money, but there's not a lot of certainty because they cancel a lot. So we didn't isolate that objection. We assumed she was going to sign because she told us she was going to sign, but her real deal killer was that she had another offer on the table that ultimately went up. She thought that was a better option for her. She ultimately took that offer, and now we don't have the deal as of now. You never know until it closes. But if we were to isolate that objection and say, it sounds like even if you did get an offer from us, you're not going to sign because you want to sell the offer pad for more money. If we were to make that statement, she probably would have said, that's correct. I don't want to waste your time. And then we would have at least been not thinking we're getting a deal that we ultimately didn't get. That's an example that on a smoke screen that we didn't identify, and it didn't cost us a deal, but it made us think we were going to get a deal that we ultimately didn't get. Hopefully that was helpful. There was a lot I covered there on this 6-minute video. If you got value from it, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you want to get coached by me one-on-one, send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com with the subject line coaching, and we can get on the phone and we can see if we'd be a fit to work together. If you want to JV with me and you want to sell me wholesale deals or do real estate transactions with me, if you're in New York or Delaware, send me an email with the subject line deals. And we can talk about how we can maybe do business with each other, whether you wholesale me houses, we JV deals together, etc. Always open to do business with more people. So hopefully you got value. If you did, leave me a review, or not a review, it's not a podcast. Subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.